Hey everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zier, and I'm joined by the originator of the Bronco Buster, Rich Stambolian.
Ooh, I do it backwards though.
Just run backwards?
I do it backwards, and it's like, when you see, you're familiar when the ladies get down and they do the twerk backwards
Yeah.
on like a lap dance?
Yeah.
That's what I do.
That's what you do? Guys, big week ahead. It's SummerSlam weekend almost. We're recording this live on Thursday, and we have a crazy week of shows planned for you guys. Very similar to what we do with SummerSlam and WrestleMania and Royal Rumble, where we do all these major, tons of watch-alongs. So this is how it's going to work. Today, obviously, regular Mat Men. Tomorrow, watch-along for Friday Night Smackdown in the new building, right? We could talk about how terrible it is and how ridiculous it's going to look.
It's going to be awesome.
By the way, I sent you some photos.
Yes.
A friend of ours sent the how they were doing it, the setup. It's all like, if somebody would have asked me like what it looks like from what I saw,
ape shit.
Remember in the Matrix when he meets the Maker?
Yes.
And there's like 5,000 displays.
Yes.
That's what it's gonna look like.
That's good. Or the end of Dark Knight where he's got all the cell phones.
All the cell phones, yeah.
It looks bananas. Those
It does
pictures
look
that you
bananas.
sent me yesterday, I was like, this looks absolutely gonzo.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. So tomorrow we'll do a watch along. You could join us here on Facebook. I'm sorry, on YouTube. I can't get Facebook working. We'll do it live on our channel on YouTube, and obviously we'll put it out, that we're live. Saturday, NXT Takeover and AEW Dynamite on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So I don't know what your schedule's like this weekend. So I'm not going to monopolize your life.
That's fine.
But
yeah,
hop in and out. Do whatever you're doing, Rich.
Yeah. I think I might. I think I'll do a remote tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'll probably do a remote for AEW on Saturday.
And then bail out for NXT.
Yeah. And then just like tweet for NXT.
Perfect. Because we definitely need to tweet.
Yeah. I was promised empanadas on Saturday. So that like my day revolves around that.
Yeah, no. Empanadas, do it. So we'll do AEW watch along.
Yeah.
And then we will go right into NXT and have AEW as a secondary. We'll still talk about what's going on, but we'll concentrate on that. And then on Sunday, we'll do our SummerSlam watch along.
Yes.
You want to be in person for that, or are you going to do it remote?
It depends. Okay. I don't mind being in person for that. Because then like we can just watch it up here. It's great.
Yeah.
It's just both of us like,
And it's so cold in this room now.
It's so perfect right now. I want to sleep here.
Isn't that thing the best investment I've ever put in?
It's the greatest.
$10,000 this thing costs.
Did Steve put in like a little spy camera?
He did. He just peeks. He hopes I change in here all the time. So it's going to be a busy week, guys. If you have not done so, subscribe to us. We're everywhere podcasts are available. The show has been blowing up. It's becoming a very popular podcast.
Yes.
And it's great to see the growth, considering we've been doing this forever, and we really do it because it's our passion. We absolutely love it. So very thankful for each and every one of you. So
yes,
let's go into wrestling.
Weird
not having Dynamite last night.
Yeah.
They did air a pay-per-view on their YouTube channel.
Yes.
Which one did they air?
Fight for the No. All Out from last year or All In from last year?
One of them. I don't remember because I did not watch it.
Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing. It was.
I think it was. Yeah.
I think it was Double or Nothing. So weird. And I think NXT had a great opportunity to go uncontested last night, and they did not do a great job. Yeah. I was actually very disappointed in the quality of the show. And a couple things here, right? Because it's the first time that I've sat down and watched NXT on its own live, right? Like for all of us, because generally, I think for a lot of the guys in the chat room and the people listening,
right,
everybody is, kind of doing the back and forth, and they pick one that they watch more than the other one. So you're always going back and forth. It looked really not great.
Yeah.
Finn Balor looked great. I thought, the Balor and Dream match, which we'll talk about, Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good match. It went a little long. I think the Adam Cole and Pat McAfee,
whatever,
McAfee, that they did a very good job building that, and I think that should have closed the show.
Yes.
But you could tell there is something very wrong with our roster for NXT.
In what regard?
It is dwindled. They have done a very and guys, I love NXT. I'm saying this because I enjoy the show, not because I'm picking a side here, but they really are low on star power on that product.
But again, the origins of NXT is that it's quote unquote developmental.
You cannot be developmental and be on USA.
I think you can. I think they can get away with it. I think they get away with it in the regard that they pull the wool over the blanket of the eyes of the fair weather fan, because then they're like, oh, this is the nitty gritty real wrestling show that WWE puts out.
I'm going to tell you, I think there was a lot of acceptance in the early days of NXT because these were talents from other places or some in-house, and you wouldn't see this. There wasn't wrestling readily available the way that it is today.
Right.
So you got away with having these guys that you really knew weren't going to become blowout stars, right?
Sure.
Then you had NXT of 2014, 2015, 2016.
Oh, my God.
Which I would say those 3 years were the rebuilding years. 2017 even. Just tremendous rosters. 2018 even. 2019 even.
Listen, and we talk about this a lot. I do think Finn Balor was the linchpin of that 2-year span when he was there. He brought eyes to that show like nobody's been.
Well, you had Joe, right? It was a beautiful transition of top talent. You had Joe. You had.
Let's start with Sami Zayn.
Okay, Sami Zayn.
So El Generico gets signed. He's the first big indie darling, and then
I would say
Pac, and then him.
Yeah, Pac, and then him.
Right, and then all of a sudden,
and then Steen showed up.
Well, Kenta,
yeah,
Balor, Steen, Nakamura,
Bobby Roode,
Drew. Well, you know what? I really like
Drew's Andrade,
Joe,
Undisputed Era,
Apollo Crews. I thought that was a big signing when it happened.
Apollo Crews was, and I did not do much with him. I think he should have stayed. That was my big problem with Apollo Crews. If he stayed in NXT, he would have had the title in NXT.
Yeah.
And then you had, the Undisputed guys. You had Hanson and Rowe.
Gargano
Ciampa. You had AOP. I mean, even with it was such a tremendous roster.
Even Murphy and the other guy.
Yeah, Murphy and Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob.
It was done very well, and I feel like right now, because there's so much competition everywhere else, you could sign somewhere else. You don't have to go to NXT.
American Alpha.
Oh man, what a great tag team they were!
Right,
such a good tag team. So I feel like they are this is probably the weakest looking NXT roster I've seen in a very, very long time.
I'll agree with that. But at the same time, there's a lot of guys on that roster that I really like watching. Like, we keep talking about Bronson Reed.
Yeah, I like Bronson. He's a thick boy.
Big boy.
Thick boy.
Keithley,
a great guy.
I like Damian Priest. I know I give him a lot of shit on Twitter just because I think it's funny, but I really like Damian Priest. I liked him as, when he was punishing Martinez. I think they really fleshed him out a lot.
But this says a lot, right? This says, listen, I think the guys that they have are very talented.
Yes.
But you are now in a war. It's no longer, if this show that we saw last night was on the WWE Network, I would have said, you know what, 1 hour show, good job.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Very good job.
Right.
Sold the show.
Right.
But now you have a 2-hour block on USA. You're going head to head with a very good product. Like a very, very, say what you want about AEW. I've heard it all. That product looks great.
Star power.
And considering these guys are not known to the mainstream, it just feels bigger. Forget about who's there, but it feels bigger.
Exactly.
And now you're watching that, and then you tune this in, and it looks like it's first of all, their color balance is all screwed up. It looks green, the show.
I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah.
So when Killer Cross comes out, do they desaturate for him, or is that like it? Because I usually watch it on my iPad.
Yeah.
I'll have it on my iPad, and then I'll have AEW on TV. And for the last few weeks, I noticed is it a thing for his matches that it kind of looks a little desaturated? Do they do that on purpose, or is it just like their weird lighting setup in wherever they are?
I think it's. I think for the entrance they did, they do desaturate. Yeah,
just a little bit,
a little bit, yeah. But the quality, production wise, and this is the thing that I'm into, right? Because I'm into production. The overall presentation of the product doesn't look good. And I don't know if that's done on purpose, that they wanted to look a little bit gritty, because that was always like Triple H's thing, to not look like the main show. But you're going up against something that's bright and vivid.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of colors.
A lot of colors, and your product is yellow and greenish.
Right, yeah.
So black, yellow, and like a green tint. So I don't know. I think they got to do a better job with that. But it does look like it's a good pay-per-view. Takeover 30. I cannot believe we're at Takeover 30.
It's pretty nuts, right?
Yeah.
Triple X. You think that means Triple H shows up?
I think they're gonna have Alvina show up.
Yeah, hello, ladies.
There we go. So,
like a extreme close up.
Yeah, I zoomed in on Rich. So let's go through this card. It's gonna take place, and then we'll talk about Raw and everything else. Obviously, there's Shane McMahon rumors right now that he's getting the head of creative for Raw. Bruce Pritchard is stepping back because he's overwhelmed. So he's going to just do SmackDown. We'll talk about that also. So you got 6 matches on this card. It is a stacked card when you think about it.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot going on here. There's a tremendous amount going on. So let's go through this.
Okay.
So the pre-show match is going to be Breezango versus Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch.
I like Oni Lorcan.
Oni Lorcan. He is Lorcan. He's a peeping Tom. And then against Phantasmo's group. What is it? It's
Raul
Mendoza and
Joaquin Wilde.
Joaquin Wilde, yeah.
That's a good name. That's a good name for a
Joaquin
wrestler.
Wilde is a good name.
Yeah.
So this is a triple threat tag team match to determine number 1 contender for the tag team championship. So we're gonna have that. That's on the pre-show match. Then we got Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes, Johnny Gargano, and Velveteen Dream in a ladder match for the vacant NXT North American Championship. Who takes this?
I'm going to say it's either going to be Damian Priest or Velveteen.
I'm going to say at this point, they're going to... Is it going to be Velveteen? Did you see
think so.
number 1 trending on Twitter right now? Fire Velveteen Dream?
I think so. I think they, after, honestly, like, you know how corporate shit goes.
Yeah.
Once you say something, you have to stick to it.
They're sticking to it.
Doesn't matter if it's right or wrong, but Triple H backed up all the shit that he said this week by saying, hey, listen, we did our thing. We found nothing wrong. We're going to proceed how we were going to proceed anyway.
So
dude's picked up the win the last couple, like he came back.
I got to tell you.
Finn Balor put him over,
I get what they said.
It sucks.
It sucks. It does.
But,
which we'll go into a little bit later.
It's that corporate mentality of like, we already made the statement.
Yeah. Now we can't back off.
We have to stick to it. How does that make us look?
Yeah. For the NXT Women's Championship, you got Io Shirai and Dakota Kai with Raquel Gonzalez in her corner. I think Io should keep the title.
Yes, 10-minute match. Io Shirai takes it.
Adam Cole, Pat McAfee in a singles match. I feel like there's something that's going to happen here.
Yes.
I want to say that I just feel that there's going to be a turn on Adam Cole.
Okay.
Where they all turn on him and they make Pat the mouthpiece for Undisputed Era.
The guy's a good talker. He's
a very good talker. He's a better talker than many on that roster.
Big boy.
He is a big boy. I don't know how well he could work. I know that he's attempted to wrestle many times. He's very athletic. The guy's a great career football player, one of the tremendous punter, kicker. So let's see what happens.
I think it's going to be fun.
I don't want them to break that group up.
Yeah, I mean,
so here's the thing that throws me off about that idea that I have. WWE right now is in a stable kick, right?
Yes,
Everything is stables. They're big into factions again, which I love. I love factions. I love alliances. It makes sense considering WWE really loves to do beatdowns on people where nobody comes out and helps them.
Which is weird.
Which is always bizarre. So we saw that on SmackDown with Big E. Which we'll talk about that also.
Very weird. Yeah.
A lot to talk about today. Jeez. So if all indicators point in a direction, I think Adam Cole's going to whip his ass, and then Undisputed Era is turning on him and saying, you're always selfish. You always were about yourself. You weren't about us. And they do something with that. So we'll see what happens.
I said this last week, but I think Pat is good. They're going to do something weird because this is not like, how legitimate is this match supposed to be, right? But I think it's going to be good because if Adam Cole calls it, he'll make Pat look like $1 million.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. I do have a feeling you're not going to get a betrayal from Undisputed, but I think Undisputed's going to show up, and then you're going to get Gronk, Mojo, and Riddick Moss, the football guys, showing up
I hate it.
on the other side, and then you're going to have a showdown.
I don't like that.
I think that's what's going to happen.
So we're going to have that. Then we're going to have Finn Balor, Timothy Thatcher. I just want to tell you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Timothy Thatcher's very talented.
He's awesome.
However, and this is coming from someone that really enjoys chain wrestling, right? Yeah. I find him to be unwatchably boring.
Really?
I never liked him in Evolve as their champion. He was a champion forever.
I really liked him in Evolve.
It was so bad where I would see people leaving the main events.
He's like a Regal, dude.
He is like a Regal, but there's nothing behind him.
You're crazy.
I'm telling you, this is just how I feel.
Pure Matt athleticism.
He's very talented. I just find him to be dull. And that is no knock. It could be his character. It's how he's very dry, and that's the thing. Like Regal had personality.
Yeah. Is it the tooth?
The tooth freaks me out.
I think it's the tooth.
The tooth makes me very. By the way, talking about teeth, look at The Rock here. Look at those Look at him cutting that promo. IC title match with Triple H coming up in a ladder match.
The Rock's not here right now, Andrew. We're just there. He's
right here. He's right here.
We have the monitor. And it's SummerSlam 98?
The SummerSlam 98 is on the
SummerSlam 98. Do you not like it because Timothy Thatcher and Oney Lorcan kind of look like Louis C.K.?
Yes, that's exactly why. I think Balor's going to take this.
Yeah, I think so. What's up with Finn Balor? Talk to me.
I don't know, man.
What are they doing? Do you think he's leaving?
No, he's not leaving, but he was supposed to go back for SummerSlam on the main roster.
He was their golden
pre-COVID.
Boy, right?
In NXT?
No, I'm saying from NXT to the main roster, even after he came back from injury, he was the golden boy, right?
Yeah, but they've always stop and go with him.
Mm-hmm.
That moment where he beat Rollins for that first Universal title would have been his moment.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, he got,
how crazy.
He got hurt.
And now he's on it. It's weird. I think it's not wasted potential, and I'm waiting to see where it goes, to be honest with you. But he shows up, like every couple of weeks, doesn't really do much.
Yeah, that's it.
Would you rather see him back in New Japan or in AEW?
AEW.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. I think he takes it, and now we have the main event for NXT TakeOver 30, which is going to be Keithley and Karrion Kross. I'm conflicted on this because I don't want either one to lose. So what do you do with this, Rich?
I think you have them do a back and forth on top thing. So Kross wins this.
Okay.
Loses it back to Keithley.
Oh, interesting.
Keithley, and then flip-flop it a couple of times so you can build these guys' stats, because you don't really have that, right? Like, who was the only two-time NXT champ?
Balor had it twice, no?
I don't think so. He was he was the longest reigning until Adam Cole. Am I right about that?
No, didn't he drop it to Joe and beat him? Or am I hallucinating?
Oh, he beat him at a house show. Or Joe beat him at a house show.
Joe beat him at a house show, and I believe he won it back.
Okay.
Something like that.
Because they only have one two-time NXT champion, right?
I believe so.
So I think with this, it's time to buff these guys' stats up. Because how long do you think Karrion Kross is going to stay on the NXT roster?
Well, it depends. Joe and Nakamura, two-time champs.
Okay.
Yeah, two-time champs. I don't know, man. I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Think about it. Who would you rather? Who fits more on the main roster? I think
out of who?
Keithley and Karrion Kross.
I think Keithley fits on that main roster.
I feel like he'd get lost in the shuffle.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he'd get lost in the shuffle.
He's such a big dude.
He is, but
he's so much charisma
and super talented. But I think he'll get lost in the shuffle. I feel like they're not.
You think Karrion Kross would do better?
Yes,
Well, that entrance is a main event entrance.
Yeah, because if you look at it, a lot of the dudes on that main roster, this is the Seth Rollins cruiserweight problem, right? A lot of the dudes on the main roster could already do the flips and the big power moves, right?
Yeah.
On the NXT roster, you have the champion who can do all this stuff, and that sets him apart on that NXT roster, right? Karrion Kross, I think, would do better because he fits more of that Monday Night Raw mold.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know?
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, at this point, I don't know what their what their plan is. Like Finn Balor, for example, he's 39 years old.
Yeah.
This is not a young man.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing with him? You have this unbelievably talented guy, and they can't make that call. You know, that quote about Triple H saying John Cena is the last superstar that we'll ever have. I don't necessarily know if he said it, but that is something that has always been said that I hear from these guys, that the CM Punk situation really changed their mindset about having a talent have so much power.
Exactly.
They believe that you go there for the entire experience. You don't go there for a match, which is totally wrong. That's not how it works.
Right.
You know, when the quote that I was told was, when you go see basketball, you're going to see the team, not the player. I'm like, yeah, but the player is what sells the team.
Right.
You know, like I was a huge Chicago Bulls fan in the 90s.
Absolutely.
If Michael Jordan didn't exist on that team, I don't think I would have been a Chicago Bulls fan. Okay. I wouldn't have been a Scottie Pippen fan. I definitely would have been a fan of the Worm. Always a Dennis Rodman fan. But I wouldn't know who Luke Longley is. That's just how it works. You need a top star, and
Tony
right now,
Kukoc, you would have been a
the Croatian sensation, the Pink Panther, Tony Kukoc.
You would have been a big Tony Kukoc guy.
Steve Kerr, one of the greatest 3-point shooters of all time.
Steve Kerr is one of the winningest people in the universe.
In the universe, yeah. I know a lot about the Chicago Bulls. Dennis Rodman and I had a very deep conversation about the NWO and the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, that's right.
And he kept deferring the conversation to talk about the NWO.
Hell yeah.
And Lawrence Taylor came by, and LT and him we were all talking about what their favorite wrestling match was. And they started having a discussion about Bam Bam. Said he was saying that Bam Bam is one of the greatest athletes, and he was saying that DDP is one of the greatest athletes.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Were you like,
I just want to call him. No. This was like sitting down at a table.
Sitting down, okay.
And then Tory Black showed up, and they lost their concentration on talking about.
Then it turned into a different party.
Then it turned into a very different conversation with Charles Oakley and the porn stars. Not that they did anything wrong. I'm not accusing them of anything. It was just a very bizarre night. That was exactly a year ago.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I could have sworn it was longer than that.
1 year ago.
This is when you realize how tall Dennis Rodman is.
He grew from the fucking earth, man.
You look like a child next to him.
You know what Taylor said to me? Yesterday, we were going through like the photos, and she goes, Daddy, why are you so little? I said, because that man grew from the effing earth.
He's like 9 feet tall.
He's 90 feet tall.
And people don't know this, but you're 4'6".
I'm 4'1". I'm very small.
A lot of heart.
Yeah, so it's a lot of heart. So listen, I don't think we've seen the end of like the mega superstars, but
yeah,
it's so much harder.
In WWE, yes.
So much harder. But also you gotta remember, where are those big 6'5" athletic, charismatic talents?
I think that's what they're waiting for.
Doesn't it? We got very spoiled. We got two of the greatest professional wrestlers happening in the same era twice.
Oh my God. Yeah.
We got Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan, same time period twice. And then we got Rock and Austin.
Yeah.
That has never happened. That doesn't exist.
Well, how about this? So I think the state of it's specifically a WWE thing, right? Austin says this ad nauseum on his podcast. If you're not in the business to get that world title, then you shouldn't be in the business.
Yeah. But now but you got to remember, that's where the money was. Right. That's why he has that mentality. Also, these guys are getting, they're giving major high 6-figure, low 7-figure deals to guys just to keep them.
But it's also not like how it quote unquote used to be, where it's like if a guy got over, you put the belt on him.
No, not anymore.
Because like if a guy gets over, now they kind of stymie that, right? Specifically in WWE. Like I read an interview with Aiden English today, and he was saying that Vince told Rusev that when people chant Rusev Day, they're making fun of him.
And they were not.
Right. So he got over with the Rusev Day stuff, and then they pulled the plug on it.
Well, it's
censorship.
Yeah. Oh, crap. Hold on. Faustino, $4.99.
Thanks, bud.
Twice.
Wow.
I just saw this. I'm suddenly finding myself envying Andrew's job. That's what he said. Good morning. Nothing like waking up to Rich adjusting his camera angles.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. All right. So, where do you want to go from here?
The titty job.
Yeah, the titty job. Well, let's see. If they open up New York City, I'll have a job. If not looking good. They do not want to open anything.
You got that new
The
backyard.
That's it. That's what
Just
I'm
put
gonna
a
do.
couple of poles back there in a tent.
I told Jess. I said I may have to.
Listen,
We got the bar already.
I'll work security and I'll bartend.
Can you take photos also?
I'll do everything.
Perfect. All right. So let's go into Raw. What did you think of Raw?
It was okay.
It wasn't as good as the week prior.
No, it wasn't.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that this is the last show in that performance center ever again.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Thunderdome also, but I thought Raw was. Everybody was like, "This was a go home show." I'm like, "Dude, it wasn't a go home show. It's not the last show before the pay-per-view."
Yeah. I like the Mysterio stuff with Dominic. I thought that was good.
Can he please show up? Okay, this is what I want his gear to be Ray's gear, like exactly what Ray wears, and everything is a little too short.
So he's like in like Daddy's.
He's in
small
Dad's clothes, but his small clothes, not his big clothes.
I think he should come out with Ray on his shoulders.
How about holding him like a baby?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. So Seth has done a tremendous job at making me kind of care about this match.
I bet you Dominic turns on Ray.
That'd be great. I would love to see that. That's the way to do it. That's how I would book it.
He's part of the new faction.
Yeah. Raw. I'm not sure if Raw Underground is going to play a part in SummerSlam. I just want to put that out there. Somebody asked me earlier, like, what are they going to do with this? I have no idea. I don't think it'll make. Like, where are they gonna do Raw Underground from now?
Did you like Raw Underground this week?
I like that. Jessamine Duke and Marina were there.
Yeah.
I like that. I don't. We'll see what happens.
I did like the Ziggler Viking Raider.
Dude, you know what? I think this is a great way to get some of these guys over.
Mm-hmm.
That they're not doing much on the roster. Because, like, take a guy like Riddick Moss, right?
Yeah.
Riddick Moss is a great example. He's really non-existent on the main roster. This is a football player. People know him, right? Non-existent on the main roster. And you don't really, like, they introduced him as being nobody.
Well, they introduced him as Mojo's buddy.
And
then he turned on Mojo.
But they did nothing with him. Like, there was no...
Yeah.
It was a very bizarre introduction that I have not seen WWE do in a very long time.
Yeah.
This is a great way to get this guy over. Like, you legitimize him with, holy crap, like, this guy's a real good fighter. He's doing the Raw Underground thing. And then you have him challenge somebody else. By the way, Bob Rowe, $5 for
Thanks,
Andrew,
Bob.
The name dropper. Can't wait till he... Let me zoom this in. Can't wait until he gets to the story on the day he had dinner with Elvis, JFK, and John and Morrison. Not John Morrison.
Like Jim Morrison.
Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
That's dude. How about Tupac and Biggie and the Aliens?
You were there for that.
I was there for all of it.
For the Anunnaki dinner.
The Anunnaki dinner.
Riddick Moss also, I think, adapted to that WWE body like super quick.
Dude, he has a great physique.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the Shawn Michaels segment?
I thought about you, to be honest.
Why?
Because
his hair?
Well, yeah, because when his hat flew off, I was like, well, I wonder what Andrew thinks about this. Because you hate balding of any kind.
I don't like it
on anybody.
I don't like it. He should just shave his head.
You're the most judgy person on earth when it comes to people losing their hair.
I am not judgy.
You are.
I try to help people.
It's okay though. But,
I'm trying to save people. I'm trying to save one follicle at a time.
I've seen you shudder when you see like a balding guy. You go like this. Check that out.
I can't where they are on the Norwood scale.
And I'm like, what's wrong? And you were like,
he's a sufferer. I go, that guy's suffering.
I know. But that's what I thought of number one. Number two, I'm like, way to go, Shawn, keeping his character alive by not really selling that punt kick.
Dude, he no sold it. He just sat up. That move's supposed to kill you.
Right. That's supposed to be him written off TV forever.
I think that was rustiness a little bit.
Heartbreak Kid ain't going down like that.
No, he's like you're gonna beat me with a pumpkin. What is Sable wearing?
She's wearing
what is a Sable bomb shirt?
It is that was her like finisher, right?
That was her finisher. She just beat Mark Marrow.
Okay.
She just murdered. She power bombed Mark Marrow just now.
You know it's funny. It's like,
what the hell is that? Sable and Edge as a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember this happening. Wild.
People were like, do you remember when we were younger and everybody would just like, anytime you mentioned Sable, people would just practically whip their junks out, you know?
The 90s were a wild time.
It was, man.
No self-control.
No, not at all.
Nobody had self-control in the 90s.
Was she like the quote unquote like hottest babe on the roster?
She was. So what propelled her into where she was is that she beat Sunny in the most downloaded woman. Do you remember who was the most downloaded woman on the internet?
No.
I believe it was Cindy Margolis.
Really?
I believe that's who it was.
Huh.
And Sable became the most downloaded woman on AOL. I'm sorry, Sunny. And it was like a big deal in the 90s. Like, that was a huge indicator for them. There's Mick Foley. And Sable beat her, and that's when they were like, oh, Sunny? Yeah, she's a little bit of a pain in the ass, and they, like, dropped her for Sable.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. So, the punt kick was weird.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a swerve coming with Flair, because you never saw Flair get punted, because it, like, blacked out.
Okay.
Right? So maybe that's the swerve. I do feel like this is one of Randy's best work.
Yes.
And he's one of these guys where he needs to be motivated. And I think that he's very motivated because he may win the title.
You think it's motivation, or you think it's him just being like, I've been with this company for 20 years. I've done everything. I've done every single thing you could think of except for this.
He did an interview and he said he cannot wait to retire so he can get fat and not give a shit about working out again.
I heard that too.
You know, like he's very content with life right now.
Yeah.
I do feel like this is a nice entry for Edge to beat him for the title.
Oh my God.
So you do, because the blow off was supposed to be SummerSlam for them. So have Randy win the title, have Edge return,
Royal Rumble,
and then you could have it at Survivor Series even, you know? Have him win the title somewhere.
Sucks for Drew.
Sucks for Drew.
Yeah.
I think he got a really bad, just terrible timing, man. There's nothing you could do. That's always going to be the story.
You think Randy's going to win?
I would book him to win. I would book Randy to win the title.
I think Drew's going to take it only because he beat Brock Lesnar, and it's 2 accolades for him, and WWE loves doing that, where it's like, he beat Brock Lesnar, he beat the Legend Killer. Who's next?
Just get on mic a little bit more.
He beat Brock Lesnar.
There you go. Oh, yeah.
He beat Brock Lesnar. He beat the Legend Killer. Who's next? This guy.
How about Goldberg?
Roman shows.
Yes, he has matches. He has 2 matches left this year.
You
want to date my daughter?
No, I date my daughter, bro.
My daughter?
Goldberg.
What is Long Island Goldberg drive?
Long Island Goldberg drives he drives an R8, an Audi.
An Audi R8?
Yeah.
I would go totally the other way.
Like a dually? He drives like a giant Ford F-150?
Yeah, Ford F-150.
Really?
Yep. I think he drives a Ford F-150, but he's not a pickup. He's not in construction.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of those guys that drives
just likes a pickup truck.
Big pickup. I'll go Chevy Silverado.
F-350.
Oh, big.
Big cabin, big bed. That's what he drives. He still has the same stupid barbed wire tattoo, though.
What kind of asshole car will Goldberg drive?
If he lived on Long Island?
That's what you're asking. It's a really good question because, like, if you live in the area.
A PT Cruiser. A souped up PT Cruiser.
No, I could see him having, like, one of those, like, Punisher American flag decals.
Yeah.
And, like, maybe something.
Maybe he drives my Mustang.
No.
By the way, I bought a Mustang, guys. I bought an ultimate asshole car.
He wouldn't fit into your Mustang.
He'd be too big.
You know what? The Mustang's not an asshole car
It
anymore.
It is. I'm going to tell you why. It's very loud.
Okay, that's fine. It's a loud car. But you're not zooming down the neighborhood at like 60 miles an hour.
Sometimes.
Yeah? Down 35th Avenue.
That's what you hear.
The Mustang stopped being an asshole car once people started getting Audis.
Yeah, that's okay. I like that.
And the new asshole car is
a white Beamer?
No. I think Beamers took a step back also.
Greek white Beamer.
Maseratis?
A Maserati, I like. Yeah, that's a good one.
Maseratis now. Yeah. Audis definitely. There's one I saw the other day where I was like, ooh, Range Rovers.
I'm buying a Range Rover.
Yeah,
I am.
Now you're an asshole.
I am. Next year for the lease.
But that's just my personal opinion.
I agree with you. That's fine.
I don't want to offend anybody in the audience.
Please offend everybody.
Who drives a Range Rover, and also an Audi and a Maserati.
Yeah. No, you know what he drives? I got it. Okay? I got it.
Yeah.
Long Island Bill Goldberg, right?
Ooh.
Asshole has 3 daughters, right? 3 daughters. Lives in Huntington. No, Oyster Bay. Okay? Lives in Oyster Bay.
I'm with you.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hit me.
I had it. And I lost it. I lost it.
I got one for you.
Hold on. I'm gonna die if I don't answer this. I'm gonna die if I don't answer this.
Is this gonna be like your
My brain just stopped.
Howard Hughes thing where you're gonna keep repeating that?
I'm gonna keep repeating it.
I would say he drives you want an asshole car?
Yeah.
That Mercedes truck.
Oh, the G-Wagon?
tall,
I love that one. Maybe I am an asshole. I think I am.
Too?
No, I can't afford that. That's crazy. It's like $150,000.
Yeah.
He drives an older car. He doesn't drive a new car.
Well, like a 57 Chevy.
No. Well, maybe that's what he drives. He drives like an old car. I think, God, what was it? I just lost it. And
like
it was
a Trans
such
Am?
a good. It was so good. It was so. We'll get to it.
Like a Trick That Firebird?
No, I got it. Here you go. Like a 1998 Cadillac.
Oh yeah.
But with like the North Star engine. You know when they like redid the body, but it was like a crappy car.
Yeah.
Like really bad car. That's what he drives, like a 98 Caddy, 99 Caddy, and it's mint. He washes that thing three times a week.
You mean he pays somebody to wash it?
No, he does it himself. Nobody could touch his car.
Nobody touches my baby.
Don't touch my car. All right, let's get back to wrestling. Jesus,
I like this. This is great.
I don't know what happened. We all entered a void.
What?
I'm watching Dan Severn right now, and Owen Hart entering the Lion's Den. They're having a Lion's Den match.
So good.
Where did they do this? Oh, this is the amphitheater at the Garden.
Yes.
They did it in the Garden Theater.
So
wow,
good.
that's cool. So they sold tickets there to watch the pay-per-view.
That's pretty cool.
All right, so what else did we miss? Oh, the terrorists. You want to talk about them?
Yeah.
On SmackDown?
I think it's going to end up being undisputed.
I don't know. That's such like a bad. It's terrible. Why would they do that?
Why not? It's WWE.
Yeah. They're baby faces. Why are they wreaking havoc on the main roster?
It's weird.
I don't think they know. I honestly think this is becoming one of those things like the higher power.
Okay.
You remember the whole higher power thing?
Yes, I do.
They had nobody for that role. And I don't think they have the guy. I think they're just going to extend this and see where it goes and hope they come up with something. Imagine it's Roman Reigns.
Oh, dude, I put out a tweet on Monday saying, give me your 4 oddball choices of active wrestlers.
Who did people pick?
I went Roman, John Cena, Punk, and Samoa Joe.
Oh, man. Maybe Ciampa. Maybe it could be Ciampa.
I think it's going to be Ciampa, Dijakovic, Gargano, and then somebody, Candice LeRae.
So is the hacker involved with these guys?
Is the hacker stuff still going on?
I don't know. It just stopped. So I'm curious, is the hacker associated? Are we getting terror attacks on all fronts? Ken Shamrock is losing his mind and about to.
He looks like a penis.
He does. Very, very musculature on him. A lot of musculature. So I don't know, but it does make sense for it to be someone like Punk.
Right.
I know. Listen, I'm not saying it is. I have no proof.
It'd be great for one.
I would love for it to be him, but maybe it's Sammy.
Oh, it'd be amazing too.
It could be Sammy, and he'd be great in that role.
Sammy, Ciampa, Gargano, Candice LeRae, and Dijakovic.
I mean, you just took everybody from NXT, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't know. I think they're in this weird position. I'm curious to see what the blow off is here. The only problem that I have with SummerSlam right now is the following week you have Payback,
right?
And they shouldn't have announced it.
Okay.
I'm shocked because I was told that they're going to announce it after SummerSlam. Something big is going to happen at SummerSlam that's going to need an immediate pay-per-view to correct the wrongs.
Okay.
So my theory was, okay, maybe like the terror attacks interfere in something, and now you got to do like a do-over for Payback.
I think that's what they maybe they interrupt the main event.
Maybe they interrupt the main event. However, knowing WWE, I think it's going to be like Braun Strowman needing to get revenge. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm very curious that they announced it. I think that was a really bad move because you told everybody now something might happen. So everybody's expectation is going to be super high as to what happens, and it's always going to disappoint.
Can we go through the SummerSlam card real quick?
Yeah, is it finalized?
I want to say, I think as of now, we were missing like 2 SmackDown matches, maybe.
Okay.
SummerSlam 2020 from the Thunderdome.
We got to talk. So before we pull this up, I don't know if you guys noticed on Friday night, or Saturday morning, early Saturday morning, I posted a picture of the Thunderdome.
Yes.
And I was told, so the guy that told me this, he goes, WWE's going to call this building the Thunderdome. I said, are they calling a match a Thunderdome or the building? He goes, no, I think it's the building.
The building, yeah.
Now, this was, I'm guessing it was on Friday because he was working, I'm sure. So when he told me, I was like, can I post this? He goes, no, because it's in a memo that was just released.
Okay.
So the memo was released to the networks, right? So I didn't want to blow up his cover, but I didn't want it to just sit on it. So I just posted a picture of the Thunderdome. People lost their minds. They could not understand what it was.
Right.
And they're like, oh, are they going to do like a match like this? And I didn't respond to anything because I really didn't want to burn this guy. He's a tremendous guy. So when it got announced, everyone was like, oh, now it makes sense.
I forgot who posted this, but how long do you think, it was a wrestler who posted this, how long do you think wrestling is going to keep going by taking names from the Mad Max movies?
Dude, I think that's the only movie Vince has ever seen.
Thunderdome, Road Warriors, Lord Humongous.
Lord Humongous.
I think there was a couple more in there.
I feel like Vince saw Lord Humongous and said, we need to build everything around this movie. I mean, really, if you think about it, Demolition.
Even Demolition.
Right? Demolition,
like,
the Road Warriors, right? The Road Warriors, Demolition, the concept some could say for, some of these cage matches.
Just in wrestling in general, yeah.
It's wild, the crossover between the two.
So I got the card in front of me.
Let's do it.
8 matches so far. So you have, I'm looking forward to this, Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville in a hair versus hair match.
Okay, so I don't think this match should happen.
Because of what happened with Sonya Deville?
Because of what happened with Sonya Deville.
Did we talk about that last week?
We didn't know because it happened over the weekend.
So please tell people what happened.
So report came out that, I guess they were watching the UFC pay-per-view or UFC, Saturday night. Mandy Rose was over Sonya's house. Obviously, I don't know if people know, they're very good friends. They're best friends,
right?
Sonya and her. Which is great to see, a relationship like that in wrestling.
You always like to see people be friends.
People be friends, especially in wrestling, because everybody hates each other. So she was over the house. There was a couple other people, I think, and Mandy, I believe, was staying over. This guy had been messaging her for months, like crazy stuff. Because she got so many messages, it went in the other folder on Instagram, which you don't see.
Request folder, yeah.
So, and in those messages, he's like, I'm going to see you, I'm going to kill you.
Spiraling.
Posting the address of and there's my son
What's up, buddy?
holding an umbrella in his underwear.
How you doing, buddy?
He took his pants off. He's wearing his Superman underwear.
He's like, Daddy, it's raining.
It's raining men. So the guy drove from North Carolina, drove 8 hours to go to show up at Sonya's house, dug a hole under her patio and stayed there for 4 hours, and broke in. Sonya thought it was like a false alarm, went to de-arm the alarm, and saw him.
He's like a manager at Applebee's or something, right?
Of course he is. Standing there, and she was quick enough to get Mandy out, and they got in their car and drove off. And he thought they went upstairs.
So he was in the house.
He was in the house.
And he brought probably kidnapping stuff.
Like a knife, pepper spray, zip tie. Like
so
this guy was going to kidnap her.
Unfortunate. Terrifying.
Just crazy. I don't think that match needs to happen right now.
Are you worried that Coco's going to do that to you one day?
I think he's living under the house right now as we speak. He's been down there for weeks.
But he just gives up because he's really comfortable living under the house.
Okay. Yes. But holy moly, how scary is that?
So frightening. I'm glad they're okay. I mean, like, they were in a situation where they just bounced immediately. Thank God, like, how crazy is that?
I think he probably like freaked out a little bit when he saw her. You know what I mean?
You see the pictures of this turd?
Oh, man. He looks exactly what I would have imagined him to look like. Do you remember the other guy that would go to NXT all the time?
The guy who...
He followed us on Twitter. He would comment on our page on Instagram.
The guy who thought everything was real?
The guy that thought everything was real.
What was his thing with Natty? It was like egging him on or something at the Performance Center?
I have no idea.
And he was like trying to cut a promo on them, and they just called the cops on him?
Yeah, but he would throw shit at he would take shits and leave it in the parking lot.
How crazy does it drive you when fans take it too far, like as if they're in on it? Like, hey, I'm in on it, right?
Listen, I think this is the most dangerous thing about fandom is that there are many people that commit their lives to fandom.
I'm smart to the business.
Smart to everything. I mean, listen, comic books have the same freaking problem. It's very toxic. It's crazy.
Super toxic. Right now, it's very toxic.
And people identify as what they're into. Listen, I got a whole rant on this. Lita had a problem. Yeah, it wasn't an obsession with Lita. He had an obsession with Lita.
Oh boy.
It was weird, really weird.
Anyway, hair versus hair match.
Okay, hair. I don't think they need to do this match.
Imagine if Mandy loses.
Oh my god.
How crazy would that be?
No, Sonya's probably gonna lose.
Yeah, I mean, like she.
What are you gonna do? You gonna shave her head?
I think a buzz cut.
No, she's a babyface now.
Who, Sonya?
Sonya.
Is she?
I would. After nearly being kidnapped.
Well, yeah.
Holy
right,
crap!
yeah.
If they have any brain in their body, if they could, there's anything to adjust, they need to realize what they have here, and they need to turn her face and eliminate this whole thing.
Okay.
I don't think it's time to do that match.
Braun versus the Fiend for the Universal Championship. I think the Fiend's gonna win.
I have no interest in this match. I hope the Fiend wins because I think Braun is dead in the water.
Same here.
Do me a favor, just move the mic again.
Like this?
Yeah, so much better.
Like this.
Oh yeah, so much better.
What happened to my voice?
I give the title to the Fiend. I mean, what are you going to do with Braun? I know that Alexa Bliss is going to play a part in this.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be like, I do care about you.
I love you, Sister Abigail.
I think Braun stinks right now, and they should have pulled the trigger on him 2 years ago. I think Bray needs that title.
There was a guy that got very upset with me on Twitter on Friday because I said this segment's the shit. It was that Friday finals that segment between the two. Between Alexa and Braun was probably one of the worst acting I've seen on TV
it was very
in a
cringy.
very long time.
Yeah.
It was very cringy and uncomfortable, but not for the right reasons. I thought Alexa Bliss did a great job.
Yes.
Right? She was phenomenal. She was believable. He was just
stiff.
Very stiff, uncomfortable, just not believable. He was trying to be emotional, but he wasn't. His shaving his head. When did that happen?
You know what I think they should do? I think Bray should win, and he should kidnap Braun and make him like a Frankenstein.
Oh my god, I would love that, like a Frankenstein monster.
Just like
Frankenstein.
Give him like fake scars and stuff.
You think it takes talent to play Frankenstein? It's all makeup and grunting. Blah, 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 blah. Karloff does not deserve to smell my shit.
I think
one of my favorite movies.
I think Braun is done.
Yeah.
In the eyes of the fans, Braun is done.
How do you rehab him?
Keep him off of TV for a while. Put him on NXT.
I would take him off TV for sure. I would get rid of the beard. I think he should have like a little bit of a beard.
Him be like completely
just a
clean
baby,
shaven,
like
bald.
a baby.
Yeah.
Shave all his body hair.
Mm-hmm.
No, he needs to do something different.
I think he's one of those things. He's one of those like weird WWE things where I'm like, they could have done so much more with this guy.
And you know what? You know what it was? Kids loved him.
Yeah.
Kids really, like all my friends' kids that are like 6, 7 years old, they absolutely love Braun.
After he won the tag belts, they should have put the belt on him.
He's something. They should have done something quick. They waited a little bit.
But again, that's a fan gripe.
Does Otis cash in?
Oh my god!
On who?
If they do the Otis cash in, I would love it if Braun wins. Otis cashes in.
What's Dr. Frankenstein's assistant?
Igor.
Yeah. Right. Turn him into that.
Oh, I'd like that.
Turn him into that, and he just works on making Braun into. I think he should be kidnapped also.
Bray Wyatt
takes all of them and just makes them into weirdo monsters.
I think the new Wyatt family would be kind of cool.
Who plays Nosferatu?
Alexa
Baron Corbin.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Baron Corbin becomes like a Nosferatu, like a Dracul, a vampire. He already is like a vampire.
He has that. He is like a bald vampire.
Yeah, he's a Dracula for sure.
This guy's a Dracula. This guy's a Dracula.
I don't know. So what? I'm sorry. Who do you think takes that match?
Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt. Okay, yeah. I'll go with Bray also.
Bayley with Sasha versus Asuka for the SmackDown. I think Asuka's gonna take it.
A lot of people are confused about this. Asuka's doing double duty.
Right.
So I believe the Bayley match is going to be first.
Okay.
So what's the match?
I think Asuka walks out with 2 belts.
Asuka walks out with 2 belts. Okay.
Yeah. I think in the first match with Bayley, Sasha tries to help Bayley and it ends up being a cluster F.
Okay. And costs Bayley the title.
And then in the same exact thing happens in the next match where Bayley There's a big F up, and Bailey costs Sasha.
Okay.
And then Asuka wins both belts.
So how did I may have missed this, or I may know and I don't remember. How do we get to this where Asuka's challenging for both titles?
I forgot, man.
I don't remember how
it's been very entertaining, to say the least. Like, I like it, but like I don't know how they got here.
Okay.
I think I missed one episode or something.
I think that probably was.
And was like, all right, I guess so. I'm with it, because this all started when Becky left.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Asuka's basically This is Becky's spot.
Yeah.
Right. So I think you went from Becky 2 belts. You're gonna have Asuka 2 belts. She's gonna have.
Okay.
You know,
that's cool.
Put her on both shows.
Big story.
They already have the.
They don't need 2 women's titles. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
They don't need that. They just one title. One. Maybe this is a good excuse to do that. Undisputed Women's Championship.
Hey, listen. There's that rumor that WWE's gonna have yet another belt.
What have you? Which?
The Raw Underground belt.
Yeah. Ugh.
Too many titles. Man.
Too many titles, man.
Dominic versus Seth in a street fight.
Okay.
I think Dominic turns on Rey Mysterio.
Or they do like Dominic wins on a fluke.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't think
one of those.
do that.
Who's Mick Foley facing right now?
Undertaker.
No, Undertaker and Austin was the main event.
Kane. The Rock. It's somebody.
He was so. You know how young he was. He's like 34 here.
Mm-hmm.
He's younger than me.
Isn't that crazy?
He looks like an old man.
Mm-hmm.
It's so wild.
Well, they made him. They made him.
They uglied him up.
They uglied him up like big time.
Those brand pants don't help. Who's he challenging? Hold on.
Who's coming out?
Oh, the Outlaws.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's Billy.
It might just be Billy.
Maybe it's Billy. I don't know.
You guys wearing a South Park shirt. You never see that again. We're watching SummerSlam '98 on the monitor here in the studio, and it's Mick Foley versus the Outlaws, or one of the Outlaws, and they're both wearing South Park shirts.
They are. Yeah, they're both wearing South Park shirts. Yeah, that was the thing in wrestling. South Park was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Went hand in hand. That was the demo, 18 to 24 males.
I always feel like this is the weird era of wrestling where you could see like the 2 Juggalo guys in the audience sometimes.
Yeah.
I forgot their names.
Yeah. What else do we have? Shaggy 2 Dope and Hepatitis.
Jazzy J and
Hepatitis and Shaggy.
Apollo versus MVP for the U.S. Championship.
Just get on mic, Rich.
Apollo versus MVP for the U.S. Championship.
Okay.
I think Apollo retains it.
Apollo retains. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Apollo retains. I agree with you. Bobby Lashley and Shelton are banned from ringside for this match.
Okay. Drew versus Randy. I'm gonna say Drew.
Okay. I'll go with Randy.
Okay.
I'm very interested in this match, and they did a very good job at building it. Drew's promos have been on fire. Randy Orton, 2 weeks ago, that promo with Flair was unbelievable, and apparently they cut out a whole bunch of stuff from it. I'm curious to know what it was. Listen, 8 matches on this card. The big match for me, it really is a one match card here. And then you got the Asuka stuff. That's going to take up a lot of time. But
and then there's one more.
The hell's that? And what is it?
It's Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza for the Raw Tag Team Championships. I'm gonna go with Andrade and Angel.
I'm gonna go with Andrade and Angel. But who poisoned Montez Ford?
Well, they showed Selena Vega the other day.
Do we know it was
but
that?
But they showed her from the back.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
What if it's Angelo?
Really?
And this is their breakup?
No, but they showed a woman.
I know, no. I'm saying, but there was no proof that that's what she was doing.
Okay.
She could have been making, I don't know, something else.
I don't think that you need
an emergency.
You don't need to break these guys up right now.
Okay. But let's see what happens.
Isn't it crazy how, like, I was watching Raw on Monday and I'm like, yo, Angelo Dawkins is huge.
He's a big dude.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
So is Montez. Montez is very tall.
Yeah. Where do we go now? What else do we have left?
Well, we have AEW on Saturday, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. Big rumor.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any validity to this, that Brody's going to bring his enforcer out on Saturday, Eric Rowan.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because you haven't heard anything from him.
You have heard nothing.
He was also not on Talkin' Shop-A-Mania.
He was not on Talkin' Shop-A-Mania.
Yeah.
I'm dying to know what the buy rate for that pay-per-view was. Faustino in the chat, $4.99.
Thanks, buddy.
Let's do all the Universal monsters. Who plays the Wolfman? Rusev.
Oh, absolutely. Rusev is
That's it.
Cameron Grimes.
Cameron, he is Deacon.
Mm-hmm. Is he?
Yeah.
What makes you not like Cameron Grimes?
Just his top hat.
Is his lack of tan?
Lack of tan, top hat, soft belly.
He reminds you too much of the Freebirds?
A little too much of Michael PSAs. A little too much. Let's do our Q&A. Guys, submit your questions in the chat room, and we'll discuss, and we'll do our best to answer your questions here in the chat. Send them our way, and we got a lot of wrestling. And then in 2 weeks, I believe it's all out again.
Jeez. So we have SmackDown in the Thunderdome. We have AEW, which is a big show.
Yeah.
We have Takeover. Then we have SummerSlam. And then in a week, we have Payback. And then a week after that, we have All In 3?
All in
2?
All in 2.
I don't even know anymore.
If All Out, if it's part of the All series, it's the third.
Okay.
If it's part of the Out series, it's number 2.
The Out series.
Yeah. So submit your questions in the chat. Renee Young. Renee Young put in her 2 weeks a week ago. She is leaving. Imagine you see Renee Paquette on AEW TV.
Oh, it'd be so great.
She's very talented, and I have to tell you, she's been... ESPN wanted her. She was on TSN. I believe Fox Sports wanted her. Everybody wants her because she's very good.
She's very, very good.
So maybe she doesn't want to do it. Maybe she doesn't want to do the travel anymore.
I think she gets kidnapped by MJF and Wardlow at some point.
Can you imagine? Oh my God,
that's
that would
the
be
story.
that would be a great story. Bring her on.
Because
AEW.
am I still coming through?
You are, yeah.
This thing's like blinking on and off.
Sorry,
by the way,
I gotta fix that.
It's okay. So their match isn't happening for another few weeks, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How much time? Because like when you see Renee Young gives her notice to WWE, is it a 2-week notice?
Yeah, she gave a 2 week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm curious though, was she not running under a contract?
Or maybe her contract's up and she's
maybe
just
her contract
like, I'm not resigning.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe she was just doing it date by date.
Yeah. I think it would be dope if you see like a classic MJF breaks into Moxley's house and kidnaps his wife.
Oh my God. I'm almost certain we're gonna see that. Like if I was a betting man, which I am, I lost $100 on a horse named Enchante.
Did you really?
I did on Saturday.
Did you? Why would you do that?
Because I thought that it was an 8-to-1 odds. It was a nice bet. It was a phenomenal bet. I lost all the money.
Did you do this on the computer?
No, a friend of mine put it in for me.
You went to an OTB?
No, a friend of mine did it.
Okay.
I actually should sign up.
Do you have a bookie?
I do.
That's interesting.
You know him.
Old school. Oh yeah.
You know him. Yeah.
Who is it? Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
He looks like a bookie.
Yeah, he is a bookie.
He acts like one too.
And a great real estate agent too.
Is he really?
Time. Yeah. Wow. He's a real estate agent and a bookie.
Wow. Last of a dying breed.
Last of a dying breed.
Who's buying a house from this guy?
I don't think he's selling much houses.
Okay.
I think that's the problem. Yeah, I think Renee going would be that would be the natural storyline for Heat.
Wouldn't it round out that roster even better to have her in AEW?
Yeah. I think that's as long as she's not wrestling.
There was also another weird rumor this week, apparently, that everybody on the main roster in WWE has contacted AEW except for Roman Reigns.
Okay, so I was asked that actually a bunch of times. Actually, an abnormal amount of times.
I think that's hysterical.
And so this is coming off of Dave, right? Dave said that everybody wants to jump ship.
Dave
Coulier from Cut It Out.
Yes.
So he's right and wrong.
Okay.
So I'm not saying that Dave is wrong. There is from months ago, right?
Yes.
From months ago. There was a tremendous amount of guys counting down the moments till a contract expires.
Yes.
So they could go. So they could leave. I'm not saying it's Ricochet, but he would be a very good example of a top guy. I'm not saying it's him, right? I don't know if it's him, but he would be a great example of a guy that's super talented and could get over anywhere else.
Yeah.
If they were given an opportunity. So there's a lot of those guys on that roster.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have said, hey, I want to get out of here and I want to go to AEW. With that said, it's not like everybody wants to leave.
Right.
It's also a contract negotiation to say you want to leave.
Yeah.
Randy Orton is a great example. His contract was running out. He was never going to AEW.
Yeah, exactly.
But he put it out there that he has no problem going somewhere else, and all of a sudden they signed him to his contract. Brock Lesnar did the same shit and they signed him to his contract. He was never going to AEW.
How great would that have been, though?
Brock Lesnar in AEW?
No, Randy. I think Randy more.
Randy?
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Any of those guys would be a top guy for them. So I want to be careful when I say that he's wrong, but he's not wrong. There's a tremendous amount of guys that think about that as an opportunity, but there's no guarantee.
Right.
That AEW is going to do good by you. It's a risk that you're going to take. And if they're offering you $750,000, oh, this is the blackface episode.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, X-Pac is in blackface right now. Look at that.
I'm surprised they didn't take this off the network.
And The Godfather.
Huh.
And The Rock.
Oh boy.
Part of history. Don't erase history.
Very strange.
Very strange to see that today. This was a great match, by the way, this ladder match.
Yes. This was a
unbelievable
really good ladder match. Again, SummerSlam 98 is
so I don't know. I think he's partially right. I think you're going to see a lot of people go over there, but I think a guy like Ricochet would be a great example of a guy that would do great over there.
Absolutely.
He's the one that comes to mind as a name already that existed. A lot of people say Cedric. I don't know. Cedric, he's talented, but he's not a Ricochet as far as the attention that he got.
Yeah, but his wife's in AEW. So
his wife is,
big swole.
We'll see.
So I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How much do you like Abyss now on SmackDown?
Oh, so good.
How weird is that?
I tweeted and I was like, I would pay money to see Abyss. And someone goes, how much? I said $25. He goes, that's a lot of money.
Abyss. Abyss.
I would pay $25 to see him in a match.
Do you think this is where it's going?
Oh, imagine he unlocked the monster.
Oh, so
because AJ treats him like shit.
I liked that weird storyline with him in TNA where he went to, was it Joseph Parks?
He was Joseph Parks,
and then
he became a lawyer.
And now it's Chris Parks?
Is that Chris? Is that what they call him?
Am I wrong about that?
I don't know what they called him.
Okay. As AJ's ad man or whatever the hell he is. But that storyline in TNA was fantastic because it was a good delineation between the two characters.
Yeah, I would have AJ just berate him constantly and smack him and call him a big idiot and stuff like that, and all of a sudden he becomes Abyss.
Would you pop?
I would pop big time
if they had Abyss show up for one SmackDown.
I found it bizarre they didn't use him for a one-off, maybe in a Rumble or something. You know what I mean?
Do you think people know who he is?
I think so.
I used to really like Abyss.
Yeah, I did too. I saw him at the Hard Rock in Florida. We were visiting a friend in. It was in Tampa. Yeah, there was a Hard Rock casino somewhere around there, and we drove to visit a couple friends, and we went and we had dinner over there, and he was there. He was.
Did you say hi to him?
Yeah.
You know what I used to call him?
What?
Mankind.
Mankind.
Yeah. It's a combination of Mankind and
Can you imagine if he went to WWE when they offered him that deal to face the Undertaker?
I think
he freaked out.
I think he would have bounced shortly after that.
Listen, here's your opportunity. All right, what else do we have in questions here? What's your favorite feature in the new GTA GFQ? I don't know if you guys saw it, but Jonathan made a Photoshop of me and Rich in Grand Theft Auto. It's awesome. It's on our page. You could just go there.
I still get a kick out of the casting couch picture.
Oh, the casting couch picture is my favorite.
Love it. I think it's hysterical.
You know what I do? I show it to people. I'm like, you know what this is? And someone
yeah.
And other one's like, no, I have no idea.
I don't
it's
know
Rich
what that
sitting on a
room
couch.
is.
And I was like, okay. The other thing, there's a big rumor about Shane McMahon taking over the head of creative for Raw.
How long has your dog been there?
He's been sitting behind me the whole time.
Get out of here.
Yeah, the whole time. Just lives there. What do you think of that? What do you think of Shane?
It.
Shane is very creative. Listen, I think a lot of people are ragging on it. They're like, oh, another older guy. I'm like, Bruce Pritchard is 60.
Yeah.
Right?
60-something, right?
I think it's 58, 59. Paul Heyman was 57, 58. Vince is 73, 74. Shane is 50.
Sure.
That 10 years.
50's the new 20.
Isn't that? And he's very hip. He knows he's connected to, what's going on.
He wears sneakers.
He knows his shit. So I'm not against Shane doing it. I know that he's very creative. He thinks outside the box. I think this Raw Underground thing is probably his idea.
Yeah.
And it's great to see him back in the mix.
I love seeing Shane. He loves sneakers and Dua Lipa.
Do you think Vince is souring on Hunter?
No.
And he's like, I'm going to bring my boy back.
My real son.
My real son.
My real son. Daddy's home.
What are your predictions for NXT rating with no AEW last night? You know what? I would have said it would have been really high if it was a good show. I'm going to say they're going to do around 780,000.
I'll say 800
You're
because,
gonna do 800?
listen, those NBA playoffs came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Let's go. You're going to go 8? What's your exact number? Give me your exact
801. 801,022. Exact number. 801,022.
I'm going to go 794,000.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. The horse is still running, said Bob, the horse that I bet on. Not from Cut It Out of control. Can I stream this anywhere? What? Talking about Dave Coulier. By the way, Rich, I got 100 on that assignment. Thanks for the help, sexy baby.
You got it, bud.
If Brock went to AEW, he would be beaten by every... That's very mean. He said a bad word for a little person.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I got something here for a friend of ours. Talking about little people.
Let me see. Oh, you showed me that already.
Yeah. I gotta give it to him.
That's
Yeah. Abyss versus Dr. Stevie, Joseph Park, okay. I think NXT did less than 1 mil. They should be disappointed. I don't think they'll do 1 million.
No.
I really don't think they'll do 1 million. Do you think Ciampa will take the title off Cross next year, or will he be the leader of Retribution? I don't know. Ciampa would be a good example of a leader of Retribution.
I think it's time for Ciampa to move on.
You think so?
I think it's time for him to be on the main. Yeah.
Okay.
They tried it once, and he got hurt, or Gargano got hurt?
He got hurt.
Mm.
He got hurt. I'm hoping Gargano's fine from yesterday.
Oh,
my
he
God,
got dumped on his head.
Dumped right on his head. Sam in our chat said, I worked with Abyss 4 times a few months before he went to WWE. He still got it. Yeah, the dude is a great worker. He's very talented, very quick for his size. Let's see what else.
Didn't he team up with Hogan at some point in TNA?
He did.
He
became
right?
a Hulkamania. He would wear the Hall of Fame ring and power up.
That's right.
So stupid, man. So stupid.
Listen, TNA could be fun.
Yeah. Have you seen any of the new independent content on WWE Network? Yes, I watched the Evolve stuff with Drew. So they haven't added like individual, like a couple episodes here and there. It's not a whole library. I watched the Evolve show.
Were you and Deacon
where I'm on it, right? Like because those are my seats whenever I go. So I realized I was not watching any of it.
Oh yeah, you're on your phone the whole time.
I was on my phone the whole time.
You're probably on the phone with me the whole time.
No, I had a big issue that I was putting out a fire for work.
Okay,
there was a big problem, and the whole show I was dealing with that issue.
That sucks.
I was also very drunk, so I decided very last minute to go to the show. Like I got the tickets like the day before, and it was pouring rain that day. And I did not want to go.
It's the only time I'd ever spent $30 for a 6-pack.
And how good is that? That's my move. That's our MO, me and you.
Yeah.
We go and we get a 6-pack of Modelo's and we just sit there.
It's
And
great.
everybody looks at us like we're lunatics because we're walking around with the big 6-pack, just slamming them down. There's a huge mess by us. Yeah, I watched some of the WXW stuff. Didn't really. Okay. It's not my deal. The ICW show that they put up was pretty good.
Do they have any Wrestling Society X on there?
No Wrestling Society X, no. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me still?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. How about now?
Oh, I can hear you.
Now you can hear me?
Are you trying to like not make me hear you?
How about now?
Still. We're good. We're good.
Because I got a headphone open. I think it's that one that I keep hearing myself. Let's see. Have you seen any of the network stuff? Will Renee actually go to AEW or ESPN? I don't know. I have no idea what she's planning on doing. Is Rich's outfit trying to lock that Manscaped ad? Yes, we are. We're trying to. There you go, Rich. Hold on. There you go.
Well, you can't really see it. You can't really see it.
His legs are wide open.
My legs have been open the entire time. Yeah. I'm still comfortable with this air conditioning. I do have Ric Flair on my shirt though, so that's.
Have you watched the Rough Riders docuseries on BET?
Yes.
The Rough Riders, like DMX Rough Riders.
Yeah. Yo, it is one of the saddest things on earth.
Is it good?
It's really good.
What happens in it?
Who asked that question?
Bachelor 3000.
It's
he knew, dude.
It's very good. I love DMX. It's very good. It's crazy. It's very sad. Like his deal when he was younger, super. I had no idea.
They're
about
not
any of
just
this
driving
stuff.
around four-wheelers?
No.
I remember. I know that he has asthma. He has really bad asthma.
Does he?
Yeah.
This stuff, it's fascinating to hear how this guy got raised in New York, and one of the most fascinating takeaways, he used to rob people with his dog.
Get at me, dog.
And he would just walk up to people, he'd have a gun and a dog,
And he would bark at them?
and he would just be like, give me your money, and that's how he'd rob people, because nobody wants to get bitten by a dog. And he was like, I would just let him go. It's like a bullet that follows you.
Yeah.
You know? Terrifying. Imagine getting robbed by a dude with like an angry pit bull.
Imagine just getting robbed by DMX.
Mm-hmm. But yes.
Scary dude.
Yes, it's great.
I gotta see it. That's such a random good question.
This is a very random question.
I gotta see it now. Bachelor 3000 with the hard hitting questions. Guys, submit your questions in the chat. And we're gonna wrap it up here. Anything else happened this week that we missed? Ring of Honor doing tapings. They're filming eight weeks worth.
Apparently EC3's on one of them.
EC3's on the Ring of Honor one? Really?
Yeah.
8 weeks worth of TV.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. So they're going into October.
We're gonna have to start covering Impact a little bit.
Yeah, Impact's doing some decent stuff. I just haven't had the time
Mm-hmm.
to watch it.
Brian Myers is on fire, dude.
Is he in Impact?
He's
Really?
calling himself the most professional wrestler.
Oh, that's cool.
And he cut a promo on Vince the other day.
We should get him on the show. He's a Bayside boy.
Yeah, he's not gonna come on the show.
Yeah, why not?
We got to give him like $10,000.
Why? No, he's a Bayside guy. Bayside guys stick together.
If we talk to Jack Sabbath,
You want to do something at the Wrestling Universe?
Yeah.
He's told me many times. He's like, let's do something.
we should. And like, did you see the lineup for this weekend?
Who does he have?
Yeah, he's got so many people at that. I don't want to
No, give him a plug. Let's see.
Let's
Give it a
see.
plug.
Hold on. I got to pull this up just because I was like, wow, this is like not a stacked lineup, but it's
He has a good lineup coming.
all right.
Store signings. Let's see.
So this weekend, let's see. So August 23rd, Rhino.
Okay. 22nd. Hold on. 22nd. You want this one?
Go for
You
it.
got Road Warrior Animal.
I kind of want to see
22nd.
that.
You got Paul Ellering also on the 22nd. You have Barry Windham. On the 22nd. You have
JJ Dillon.
JJ Dillon on the 22nd.
Tony Atlas.
Tony Atlas on the 22nd.
23rd.
23rd, you got Rhino. 23rd again. No, 29th, you have Al Snow and the Doinks. Doink, Dink, and Al Snow.
So good.
And then he has Howard Johnson from the Mets.
Also,
And Dwight Gooden.
Also Gangrel on the 30th.
Holy you know what? This is awesome. He's getting all these guys. Gangrel, Jake Roberts. You know what? We could maybe go for Jake Roberts. September 12th.
Yeah, you remember
Jake
us.
Roberts. My favorite, Greg the Hammer Valentine on the 19th. Kevin Sullivan on the 19th, and Ken Anderson on the 19th.
Very crazy that this dude's got like all these guys showing up at the store like out of nowhere.
Listen, if you live in Queens, if you live in New York City, you want to go check it out, WrestlingUniverse.com, located here in Bayside. Is Flushing or Bayside? What do you consider it?
It's on the border.
It's on the border? I think it's Bayside. On Francis Lewis Boulevard. So
I have yet
check it out.
I have yet to check out that location.
I have his IWA Deathmatch VHS. Still, I never returned it.
I bought it from him when he was by Cardozo.
Yeah.
This dude has had like 4 stores
wrestling promotion
in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
He used to have a local commercial on Monday Night Raw where like in the late 90s where he would slam somebody through a table.
We crushed the competition.
That's right.
That guy was like my basketball coach for the Armenian Church League. Hold on. Timothy Thatcher versus Finn Balor was just added to Takeover. He wrote that, okay. I got some notes here I just missed. Okay, I got all these notes.
Is that for Mr. Gonzo?
He wrote Finn Valor. He keeps writing Valor.
Is it Mr. Gonzo?
Mr. Gonzo.
He can't read.
He's making up names.
I can't read.
Let's see. A couple more questions and we'll wrap it up here. Let's see. Have indie shows come back there yet? I'm in Oklahoma. We just started having some shows. So Catalyst Wrestling, we did a no fan show in Jersey. I know that GCW ran some shows. There was a weird show with Brian Cage on it in Jersey with no with no
fans?
ropes. No, they had
okay.
they had some people in it, but there was no ropes. So I have no idea what the hell was going on there. That was by design, or they like screwed up and they couldn't get the ropes for the ring. So there's some stuff, but like not really. You can't run anything.
Yeah.
New York is still shut down. A lot of people don't realize this, but New York City, we still don't have indoor dining.
Yeah, we're not at phase 4 yet, right?
We're in a there's no more phase. Like they're just indefinitely not doing it.
Okay.
It's a whole problem. I went on the city sucks.
You went on a
The
rant.
city sucks.
Yeah.
I'm over all of this. A friend of mine got robbed really bad.
Get out of here.
Really bad. Like an older guy too.
What happened?
He got jumped.
Where?
Penn Station. Right exiting Penn.
What happened?
They beat the crap out of him, and they took like he had like $20 in his freaking pocket.
What time of day was this?
Morning.
Who jumped him?
Some guy.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, some guy. So
is that legitimate?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
no,
Wow,
yeah,
that's
no,
so
legitimate. Yeah, legitimate. He got $20.
Mm-hmm.
So
a lot of people are at the point where they're complaining about New York big time. Like I went to a place that I like to go to yesterday, for lunch, to pick up some lunch, and the owner was like, he's a good guy, but he was just like, I hate the city right now because I can't take my kids anywhere. I can't go to the opera. I can't go to the Met. I can't go to the museums. I can't enjoy what makes this city so great. I'm like, yeah, listen. Would you rather go to the opera and get sick, or just stay home for another 3 months?
Where I'm at right now, I'm fine with going out.
Yeah,
I'm over it. Yeah,
You're done with masks.
I'm done with masks.
No hand sanitizer
no more
for you.
I'm literally just spitting in my hand at this point.
Are you one of these
rubbing
guys who goes into public with no face mask and then calls everybody the P word?
Constantly. No, you know what? If I'll walk into a venue because that's the rule. I don't want the venue to get in trouble.
Right.
I'll wear the mask. I don't bitch and complain.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wear a mask on the sidewalk. That's insane. I'm walking.
Oh, I do. I'm
over it.
I'm covered,
over
buddy.
it, all of it. I'm over all of it. I get it. It's we need to do this right. We need to do this safely. I get it. I get it. I'm not denying it, but New York City's ready to open. 0.25%. Not even 1% infection rate.
Pretty crazy.
The numbers are plummeted here, and I
Pretty
get
crazy.
it. It's going to go up when you open stuff, but right now it's a legal thing. Gyms are going to open, right? But the only reason why gyms are opening is because there was a lawsuit filed. Bowling alleys are opening because the Bowling Alley Association filed a lawsuit.
Sure.
But if you could open up a bowling alley, you could definitely open up a restaurant to have a couple people
Bowling
inside.
alleys are dirty also.
They're very dirty.
Very dirty.
Always. So
Disgusting.
it's a whole different thing.
I think I don't think there was a time where I went bowling and didn't get sick afterwards, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like bowling alleys.
Always
man.
catch a cold. Like if we go, like if let's say like there's always like at least a once a year where somebody's like, oh, let's go to Whitestone Lanes, or let's go to like one of the nice places in the city. Or
When's the last time
to,
you went bowling?
Probably last year.
Really?
At some point. I think it was like someplace in Brooklyn that we went to that was like really nice.
Yeah.
I always get sick. I always catch like a bad cold just because, maybe I'm gross. Just keep licking my fingers.
AEW announced crowds. When did this happen? Just now this happened?
Oh, wow.
AEW did have a couple people in the building for the last
building.
thing. I don't know. Jonathan just wrote AEW announced crowds. Is this happening right now? Is this breaking news before we wrap it up?
I don't. That'd be cool if they did. But like in Florida or in Georgia?
I would think that they would stick to where they are.
Yeah. Isn't Florida like Dimension X right now?
Florida's terrible.
Yeah.
At least Twitter's on AEW and their COVID dome now rather than fake dream allegations. People are fighting. Bad move by AEW. Oh, AEW announces it'll be hosting live shows to its open air venue at 10 to 15% capacity beginning August 27th for Dynamite. Listen, dude, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I listen. I hate that this is politicized because this is something that should never be politicized.
Right.
People's livelihood shouldn't be politicized to the capacity that we're in. Dealing with a sickness should not be politicized.
Right.
You got to do everything the right way. I feel like people's reaction now is like this is a team. I'm on the left or I'm on the right. The right doesn't want to open, wants everything open and no masks. Fuck the mask. And then the left wants to keep everything closed.
Right.
That's abnormal.
Right.
There needs to be a compromise.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's meet in the middle. Like, I got no problem putting on the freaking mask for you. So, God forbid I get sick. I don't want to give it to you, but I should also know the risk.
I do like outdoor dining though.
I'm over that, man.
Really?
I cannot eat when it's warm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today's beautiful.
Today's stunning. Yeah. Listen, I'll take this any day. Any day. So we'll see what happens, man. Listen, I don't preach what I think to people because I don't like people telling me how to think.
Right.
I'm a free thinker.
Yeah.
I think we need to just get the hell off this planet.
Sure.
I just want to move.
Like, get on the spaceship.
Just
and
fucking blast me off.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, guys. I think that's it. I think we're done. AEW announced that they're going to be doing live ticket event at Daily Blood. 10 to 15% capacity would be
1,000 people.
How many people fit in Daily Place?
I'm going to say
800.
I'm saying
8,000.
15,000.
No, it's less than 10K. Yeah, it is less than 10,000. Maybe 500 people.
Sure, that's good.
Right?
That's a lot of noise.
800 people.
ECW show.
800 people.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to put them where the cameras are. That's it.
Yeah,
and space them out.
You know what it is? I think I was talking about this with Vicky the other day, where WWE fails in the crowd noise, AEW has overtaken them because everybody's spaced out, so it sounds louder.
Yeah.
And have you watched basketball?
I have. Yeah.
It sounds awesome.
It sounds great.
Even though it's just coaches and other players.
Yeah.
There's a liveliness to it, and then you get all the weirdos on the screens. And also, can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah.
The rules. Can you talk about the rules for Thunderdome?
What are the rules? I don't know.
Well, we were talking about this yesterday. Remember, like you have to.
Oh, you have to sit there.
You have to sit there the entirety of the show.
What happens if you have to go pee?
Doesn't matter.
Commercial break. You got 30 seconds to go take a piss.
You can't wear anything crazy. You're monitored.
Can you drink?
I don't know if you can drink. You probably could drink if you had let's say you had like a mug or something.
You think they'd have me sit like this?
Yeah.
Can I sit like what I'm doing right now?
Yeah.
Like this with the microphone?
You are wearing.
I'm wearing a Hulk Hogan shirt.
You're wearing a Hulk Hogan shirt.
Yeah.
You have no sleeves.
I have no sleeves. Perfect.
You
WWE crowd.
You do have a Finn Balor behind you.
Where's a Finn Balor? I have a Finn Balor.
Yeah, isn't that Finn Balor?
This?
No, right behind you.
Oh, I do have Finn Balor. Yeah. There you go.
Hey to Daniel Bryan.
And a Daniel Bryan, yeah.
Yeah, I think you could get away with it. But it's the same thing for NBA games. Like you can't get up, and if you're gone for too long, they eject you and put somebody else there.
So I'm curious whose technology they're using for this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm anticipating it's Fox's.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's Fox's technology that they're using.
Batman's.
Listen, man, it may look great. I sent it to Rich. Somebody we know. It was in the testing.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked pretty bonkers.
It's kind of fun, yeah.
Like the building looks bonkers. Like it's hard to tell because it's all LCDs, so it's gonna be difficult. But we'll find out tomorrow.
We'll figure this out tomorrow, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
By the way, guys, tomorrow, remember, subscribe to the podcast. I'm not gonna feed that line to you again, but tomorrow we're live at 8 p.m. East. Probably before that. We'll probably be live before that. Probably like 7:30. Hanging out, couple drinks,
chilling.
We'll do a really chilling Friday night edition of Matt Men Watch Along for Smackdown, the first show in the Thunderdome. We'll be taking your phone calls also.
Oh, yes.
So you could call in.
Yes.
We're going to be having a couple drinks.
Yes,
I'm going to have my wine, my white wine. It'll be beautiful. Perfect night.
Wow.
Guys, remember, subscribe to us wherever your podcasts are available. You can follow me on Twitter at Andrew Zarin. You can follow Rich at BTC Rich. And we'll see you all tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.